I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to Designing Gals Thursday. And we're going to put fun stuff in a wreath today. I've got a few ficus out. And I have, look at these new little glittery balls we got in. And then look at these. Oh, I super love these. Okay. So we'll come to those last. This is one mesh. It's green. It has this drift edge on it. I love that drift stuff. Don't you love that drift stuff? And then we have these two ribbons. I'm actually using this ribbon twice because I'm going to add this ribbon in the bow. So I thought I'm just going to use this in the whole wreath so you can see you can still do this and not have to buy 3 rolls. You can still only buy 2. Alright. So we have this really pretty, that laser red with the green in it. And we're going to do poof with that. And then we're going to come back with these ruffles and put curls with this on top. And we have an oval sign. Our first oval sign to be listed. It says, have a holly jolly Christmas. Bye. Bye. Okay.
She's being so quiet. Bye, friend.
She's trying to be quiet because we're live. We're live. All right. So let me get all of the comments up and we'll get started. For some reason, Facebook takes like a hot second. Okay. It's like I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'll do it.
No, it's because you're such a celebrity, Miss Lori. It takes a while to load all those.
Oh, you're so funny. It's funny, y'all. Okay. So let's zoom in a little.
I'm going to go ahead and head out.
Bye.
Bye.
So this is actually a green frame. And it's a 16-inch frame instead of the 15-inch. It's very similar. I'm going to put the ones in. Now I want to count, make sure we have the same amount of ties. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one has, it has 9 and it has 7. So slightly different. I'm going to move that camera back. Hold on, y'all. There we go. I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Alright. So we're going to do a poof with the 10-inch red. I'm just going to gather it at the end, just like this. And I like to use a zip tie to start out with. It just, to me, it gives a more seamless look. I won't use that first time. I'm just going to ignore it. I'll put this down. There we go. So you see how I have it right here. And what I'll do, here's how you make a really good poof. These two edges that have the little sharp edges, you're going to take these and you're going to tuck it under with your hand and then kind of hold them under with your hand like this, and you're going to go to the first tie, you're going to skip it, go to the second tie, and then come back to the first tie. What this is going to do is this is going to give you around a 10-inch poof, and then you can pull it out. You want to keep doing that all the way around. So remember, you have to keep it tucked in. This is what makes your poofs look nice and seamless. Okay. So go to the first one, skip it, go to the second one, come back. This is just how I'm measuring the poof. That way I get consistent sizes. You see that? Oh, isn't this pretty? And I don't have to use my board, and I don't have to use anything. I can just use the wreath itself. Okay, so all the way over, come back. Okay, pull it out, over, back. Now because this has two odd amounts, you will end up with kind of some colors that are very similar next to each other or the same ribbons, but we're using this one throughout, so it won't be as obvious because that's going to be in every tie. And you don't always have to use 4 different ribbons. We're not in this one. Okay. So each time, make sure you're tucking those little edges in. That's the most important part when you're making the poof. Okay. So we're back to where we started. See that little zip tie there? I am still gonna go all the way across to that second one. I've kind of flattened it because I want to make sure I don't have too much. And then when I tie this here, you can't tell where we started and where we stopped. You see how it gives us this nice seamless finish? I really like that. So now I'm going to pull these open up top. I like this wreath base because it has almost like the evergreen type ties and it holds on to glue really well. Okay, so I'm going to take the one from the bottom. I'm going to go to the top with my zip tie and I'm going to go kind of at a diagonal and go right in front of the tie where I'm going to start. What this does is it prevents you from having little lumps and you don't have to cut your mesh and then start back over on the top. These are little things that I've learned that help me keep my poofs very consistent and very clean looking. So see, here's our first tie. We're just going to pretend like it doesn't exist till we come back. We'll try this the next time you do your poofs. Alright, so go across the first one, do the second one, come back. There we go. Okay. Across, across, come back. There we go. Keeping those edges tucked in makes a huge difference. So if you're having problems with your poof, make sure that you're doing that, because that may be your issue right there. And make sure you're pulling it out and kind of adjusting it if you need to. Awesome, I love doing garlands. We'll do one of those in the master class this year. I think we're gonna decorate the angel in the back of me this year too. We did Holly Berry last year. This year we'll do the silver angel. I know, isn't the mesh pretty? Okay, there we go. So we're back to where we started. Okay. Yep, you can definitely do elbow to wrist. I just like to do it this way because it's just the easiest for me. You have to do whatever works for you, right? Because what works for me may not work for you. There we go. So now I'm going to trim this off. You want a couple inches. Okay, so I use 3 zip ties when I'm doing these. One on the bottom, one on the top, and one in the back. So I'll flip it over. Take my last zip tie. So I just tie it down because I don't want it sneaking out and looking not nice later. No unkempt wreaths. Okay, then I'll trim it off. I'll trim off any excess. There we go. Alright, so the poof part is done. See how nice and consistent these poofs look? Wonderful! Try it. Let me know what you think. Okay, so before we start on the ruffles, we're going to cut this up. What did I do with my... Oh, it's right here. Lordy. I'd have just missed it. I like to get a clean edge. It just helps me. So, you can do 6-inch or 8-inch curls. I think I'm going to do 8. Okay. See, if your rotary cutter doesn't cut nicely through it just like that, change the blade. Because it just needs to be changed. Okay. It should be pretty easy to just pull it right through. That makes a huge difference in phrase or no phrase. Okay. There we go. So remember, tomorrow night, for a short time, I'm going to come on and show how to do a bow that someone requested. And then I'll have something ready for Monday. Okay. There we go. When they start getting towards the edge, they get very curly. So what I'll do is cut it up, but not the whole way, and then just makes it a little easier for me to not have to chase it down. Okay. You okay out there, Daddy? My dad's sitting out there. All right. I don't know if we'll need that piece. We'll hold on to it. All right. Now, let's get all our little elements. So we're going to make little bundles to go inside our poofs here. The curls are cut at 8 inches, yes. So this is just going to be a ruffle, but I am going to take it and just kind of do the edge like this. And the reason I'm doing that is because this in the middle is regular deco mesh, so it can fray a little. So when I'm rolling up like this, when I get to that edge, instead of pushing it out, I just go right over it. And so what it does is it just kind of tucks the edges under. Not like a woodland ruffle, but just tucks it. Alright, I'm just going to hold it there. Then I'll take one of these curls, because we really want this red color to come back up top. We don't want to lose that pretty mesh. So we'll do one little roll, grab our ribbons, fold them in half, pinch, gather in the middle, get our little birdie going here. I like to pull them forward. And then we can put this whole piece in with the ruffle. I'm not going to tuck these under because I don't know which ones yet I want to put things in. There we go. So we have our red, and we have our green. This is a lighter green, this is a little bit lighter, and you'll see our ribbons are a slight bit darker, but our tying ribbon, the one that ties them all together, has both light and dark green in it. And one thing I like to do to kind of give Wreath some depth is to use several different shades of a color. So several different shades of green really helps to give it more depth to it. So I'm just kind of tying this in lightly so I can get the rest of it together. Might help if I kept the curls over here. Alright, I love this one. It has this drift edge on it. It's just so pretty. It's just so pretty. I like it. And I really like the contrast with the dark and light. Okay. There we go. So pull them out front. Pull this up top. Oh, they're over here. I'm looking behind me. I know, isn't this pretty? This border mesh. And all this drift kind of really gives it even more dimension, right? Because it's a whole other texture. So we have the bright laser foil against this drift, against the darker and lighter colors. It keeps it from getting too dark, because sometimes when you do a wreath and you're doing darker elements, if you use too many, it kind of loses something because it gets so dark. But this keeps it nice and bright and more vibrant. So we have that nice cool contrast against the dark colors. There we go. Four-inch tall wreath. It does. This would be cute to do the Grinch in. Oh, we should really do that, shouldn't we? Wonder if I can keep it long enough to do one of the Grinches. I might have to see if they have more of this. That's a great idea. I like that idea a lot. Okay. I do like that idea a lot. Are you on your work computer? We won't tell, will we? Yep, there is a new bow maker. It's right here. We'll use it when we do our bow. And there is. She should be launching it here shortly too. Just another week or so. Yep. Put these over here. You got your new bow maker today? That's exciting. Have you taken it out of the box? I heard Bree talking to you earlier, Michael. You could. If you run out of something you can use, and then you can put your bow there so it's not as obvious. She ran out of a little bit of mesh. Okay. Yep, you can do that. Does it make the bows look like mine? Yeah, so practice will make your bows look like mine. And stop being afraid. I'm going to tell you, I used to be so afraid to make bows, and so I just kept messing them up. A lot of it was in my head. Yeah, you want to see what it looks like? Hold on. I'll show it to you. I will tell you, bow makers do help you a lot, because even if you don't realize it, your hands are learning to make bows, even if you think you're not. Here's the bow maker. That's what it looks like. So if you put it against the old one, you can see the difference. You see? Look at that. Huge difference, right? Yep. Alright. And don't worry, we'll make something on it when we're done. You know, back when I first started, there was something, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like this thing, and you would put your ribbons in it, and there was almost like a crank kind of thing, and it would make some of your bow for you. But I can't remember. I can't remember what it was called. I don't know. It was a long time ago. Oh, I was going on the bottom. That's not going to work. I was missing one of the little ties. Y'all, it has been raining all day here. It's yucky. When she has her launch week, we're going to be giving one away. So, y'all just stay tuned. Ooh, people, that's funny. A Grinch sign that says, ooh, people, I like that. That sounds like the Grinch, doesn't it? That's so funny. Okay. I like the new one because the numbers are so much bigger, and it's easier for me to read it. I don't have to move my ribbon to see where to put the next one. Like the measurement, that's really nice. Did y'all know I have Bell's palsy, so my eyesight on one side is not fabulous as the other one. So that's annoying, and it helps a little bit. Jump the fence and try. The mesh is not going to hurt you, I promise. The trick is to just take your time, okay? And don't be afraid. If you have frays, tuck them under. That's how you deal with it. Just remember how you used to make fans with your paper when you were little. That's what you're doing with the mesh. You're just gathering it up to do the same thing. It's the same exact principle. You're just doing it with mesh. Practice with paper first. Just to get, you know, a memory of how you did that before. Don't worry, I'm going to show you. I'm going to use this one again because remember this has odd numbers, and then on the top we'll use that one again. Okay. Can y'all believe it's almost Halloween? I can't believe it. Gosh. This year is flying by. So we've gotten all the way around the bottom. Look how pretty and bright that is. You can still see the red, right? Because we brought the red back up. So look at our sign. You see how the sign is going to pop against that lighter green? That's going to help a lot. The Grinch movie, is that your favorite? I like the Grinch. I want some snow. We never get snow. It's depressing. Just one day. We just need like one day. Alright, so now we're going to go to the top. Okay, so we always make sure that it's not squashing the bottom. There we go. So we'll just keep doing our ribbons and our curl right on top of it. Then when we tie them in, the difference up top is going to be, we're going to spread our ribbons out so we can see all the pretty patterns. I like that. Yep, I have family in Hamilton, Ohio, but we haven't been up there since the whole pandemic. But I definitely need to get back for a visit. It's been a long time since we've seen snow. I think that's sad. I mean, I want to live in it. Thank you for sprinkling, but I definitely like to visit it. Visiting is nice. I'd move north, but my family would not. Because I'm hot all the time. And they're not so much. Okay, there we go. I know I want it to happen this year too. Okay. The only thing you have to do on the top is just to make sure that you're not squashing the bottom. We don't want to squash the bottom. like this fuzzy ribbon. I can drive in snow, but it's not the most fun. Yeah, I have some permanent damage from the Bell's palsy, but it's okay. It is not the end of the world. Just kind of an eye that irritates me. So I ended up getting permanent eyeliner because I can't put eyeliner on that eye. So that fixed it. Now it's good. If we could drive 2 hours, well, we probably could drive a couple hours and see snow. So we're not that far from the mountains. And every year we talk about doing that, and every year we don't do it. One of these years we're gonna do it. Okay. Isn't that red mesh so pretty? Yeah, I was born in Pennsylvania, so I know what it's like. It's just been very many years since I have been in the South. Like the majority of my life. But we always went back, so I know what it's like. It's just I don't live in it. And I lived in Virginia for a while. And it snowed there. So it's all good. Come to Canada. I'd love to go to Canada. That would be so much fun. That would be fun. My parents have been to Canada. I have not. My husband's been. Yep. That is correct, Z. That is the price. Okay. I love the way ruffles look on the top of the wreaths. There we go. Oh, that's pretty. I really like this mesh. It's so pretty. Whenever I work with the basic mesh, I always want to do a little bit of curling around the edge just to make sure. Couldn't find that other tie. Just to make sure it's going to, look, not fray on me, or not show frays, really. I'll move this up a little bit so y'all can see a little better. Oh my. Well, they say it's from stress. That doesn't sound like it would be from stress if he was that young. My Sam's had different ribbons this year. Wonder if different ones get different kinds. There we go. Look how pretty that is. We're going to have 1 or 2 of these ruffles left for the bow. I've been to Arizona. It's hot. It's different than the South hot, but it is hot. Okay, there we go. All right. Look. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay. We're also going to have some of these curls. So, I think we will put some in the bow. Okay. And I need to start my glue. I have a few little fun things to put in it. Okay. Oh, I need to fix that. My dovetail didn't dove so much. There we go. Alright. So we got the basic part done. Ooh, what a pretty color. So you see how we have tons of the green? So the reason being is because then the sign is really going to pop. And it's going to especially pop because the green is a lighter green and it's going to keep it from getting too dark. Alright, so let's turn on my glue here. Not yet. And while that's heating up, we are going to make our bow. Okay. You hear that rain out there? Alright, so we're going to use the new bow maker and a tiny little bit of some ficus leaves. So this is going to bring some of the darker green back to the top. So when I work on things with anything like this, I'm always looking for points that I can cut it. So I want to cut and get as many pieces out of something as I can. I'm going to cut close to where I think I'll put it in, so however long I think I need. There we go. And we could actually get more than this, but I think we need more. This is really more than we need, but get more? Yeah, okay. See, like this one, I could cut it more, but I kind of want a longer piece for the bow. Yeah. All right. So we've talked about this a lot, but when you're doing a wreath, if you want your bow to stand up, put a little bit of mesh under it. So I'm just going to make a messy ruffle. All I mean is I'm going to tuck the edges under, gather it together, and put it right down in the bow maker. Just like that. I'm going to do another one. It doesn't have to be neat because this, the purpose for this is just to keep the bow from sinking into the wreath. We can even put a little bit of red in there. Okay. Now, here we go. We're going to add a little bit of this on top of this one because this has gold in it and there's gold in this and it's going to pull it out. So, let's do like maybe a 12-inch tail. Like that. I could flip this around and use the spool holder, huh? Let's do that. See how much you can fit on that? Now this is why I like it. These, I can see these even if my ribbon's on it. So let's do like 7-inch to start. So a little bit bigger. Like that. There we go. tail out, trim it off, dovetail it. Alright, now I'm going to take my 2 long pieces. So this one, and there's a little like piece here, and I'm just going to kind of put it on each side so I can make sure it stays in place. And the same thing for this one. So I've kind of put them down in the bow. So I wanted my loops to be a little bit longer because I don't want it to kind of veer way off from the loops. So I did 2 loops of that. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the 6. Okay, 6, 6. Six, 6. So you can see I've got kind of like an X right now. I'm gonna do 1 more. 6, 6. And there we go. So I'm gonna pull these and I spread them out. And we probably should just put our zip tie over there so we don't have any trouble. This way I'll make sure I have everything in it and I won't have to worry about missing something. So we have 3 loops at 6 inch. Now we're going to do 2 loops at 6 inch with this. And I want to add just a little bit more like this. Okay. That's all. We can even add a little bit more red. Put that red in there. This is when you see what kind of metal these bow makers are made of. Because trying to do this in your hand, just isn't going to happen. So I can still see where the 6 is because the 6 is way out further than my ribbon. Okay. 6, 6. Spread those out. I love putting some of my greenery in my wreath as I'm making it because I don't have to glue it. I don't have to do anything. It becomes part of the bow and it's tied in with the ribbon. So it's not going to come out, especially if you do like I did and kind of, you know, crisscross them. All right, now we're going to put this gold on top to pull out some of that gold. Okay. I'm going to make this tail a little bit longer because I want to curl it up. Okay, we're going to do 6 inch again. 6, 6. What is that? A little wire sticking out. Okay. And let's do the little circle piece. Just because it's fun. There we go. Okay. When you're doing that little circle loop, okay, all you're doing is making one small loop and you just put it on one side. This is why I use the larger zip ties, because this is a monstrosity, right? This has a lot in it. Hold on, I got a couple pieces of... There we go. Okay, so we gotta reach down, pull the whole thing out. We can see where our indentation is. Let's get out pipe cleaner. The trickiest part when you're making your bow is make sure you get it back in where that indentation is. So kind of take your time, make sure it's there. I kind of just check to see if anything got kind of out of line a little. This one a little. There we go. Okay, there we go. It's easy to fix all this before you tighten it. Once you tighten it, it's a little bit more difficult. Okay. That looks good. All right. So let's run our zip tie underneath. So you see how this automatically makes that bow kind of fluffier? So let's tighten it really good. We don't have to do anything because we have this nice little center piece. And that's going to keep us from having to cover anything. Wow, how did I get that tail so long? Okay. I'm going to hold it in the back. You don't have to do anything to fluff the mesh, just the ribbon. So we'll start with these two, and we're going to break it by just twisting and pulling. I want that little bit of that greenery kind of peeking out. Okay. So twist, twist and pull, twist and pull. I like to do one side at a time, but you can go back and forth if you like. It's really what you're more comfortable with. Look at that. Okay. Bow fantastic. All right. You could also put some of the gold in the wreath, but I really just wanted to kind of put it as towards the end, just to give it that little bit of extra. Okay. So we're going to put it on the wreath, and it is really going to stick up because we put all that mesh under it. So what I'll do is where there's an opening, where we have our mesh tied down to the frame, I'm going to go right around there and tie this down to the frame. I just go on either side of the frame, tie it down. And there we go. And then we'll kind of straighten it up. There we go. You always have to do a little zhuzhing when you get it on, right? Let's get our tails going. See that little bit of darkness in there? Can you see that? Okay. Not what I just dropped over there. Not important. We're about done with that stuff. There we go. Now, let's fix this. So these, we're just going to curl up, just kind of at a diagonal, pull them down. Just putting our thumbs in there. Just a loose. You don't need to do it tight, just loose. Like this. Alright. So we got that part. Thank you. Now, this is going to go on this side. You see that? And then we're going to put some cute little stuff in it. So let's zoom back in a little. What did I do with my... Oh, there it is. There's my wire. So I'm going to get about 20 inches of wire out, the 26 gauge. What do you want? What is it you want that says sold out? So this one, I'm going to do top and bottom. Oh, this is the one that had the holes in it. Some have the holes and some don't. We probably have some more. I will check and then relist. We have a whole bunch more of this red and green mesh coming. It just hasn't gotten here yet, so don't stress. It should be here pretty soon. Okay, so don't stress. It's a coming. There we go. Alright, so let's use our handy dandy little weaving tools. Okay. So remember, we just thread it just like a needle. Okay. And then push it right down through the mesh. It's not going to hurt it. Then I just tie it right onto the frame. I did make the sign. I sure did. Well, actually, Tori made the sign, y'all. Tori made it. She's getting good at it. Now we've got Casey. Now we've got Casey hooked on making them. I'm telling you, making these things, it's addicting. It really is. Because once you start, it's fun. Because you can make things to match what you want them to match. There we go. Just tying it around the frame. So when you tie these, you want them to sit on top of your mesh, but not squash it. So you should be able to move it around a little bit. Because it's easy to tighten it, it's hard to loosen it. Alright, so we got that part. Now, we have a few little fun things over here. And I will tell you, we have a bunch of this that we're getting ready to list, that this would be really cute, especially in the bow. We haven't gotten it all unpacked yet. I was dropping them in the trash. Alright, but we have our ficus in our bow. Then we just got these. Aren't these cute? So you can get like 4 and look at them. They're glitter balls. Look, see? Glitter balls. I couldn't help it. Alright, so I'm going to take a couple pipe cleaners out. They're just a little bit thicker. And I can kind of go right through here. There we go. Like this. Just kind of tie it on. I love these. And I don't like them to be too big because then it kind of takes over. So I like these smaller ones. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. And I like to use the pipe cleaner because it's thicker, and so I can kind of get a little bit better grip with that. I have not told Z about these. She's probably going to be having a fit about it. They're like little rattan balls that have red glitter on them. Okay. There we go. Whoop, not that piece. There we go. Yes, I knew she would. Okay. And then we have these. Oh, I love these. I love these little candy cane things. They're foam and they have this glitter stuff on them. I've been dying to use these and I hadn't had anything to use them in until today. I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to put these kind of near the bow. Okay. These I want to put kind of around. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. So what I'll do is I'll take this right here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on it just, well, I was. Apparently I don't have my glue tight enough. Okay. There we go. Okay, a little bit of glue, and then I'm going to just tie these together. The glue is just kind of like a safety thing. Really, I'm tying them in because anytime you can wire something in, it's going to be more sturdy than if you just try to glue it in. And I'm just going to put like a couple of pieces around. So I'm going to kind of go here, over here, then down here. Okay. And these ties that are in this are really good because they're more like the evergreen kind of ties, so they really hold on very well. Right. So here, 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 like right here. I'm so excited. Tomorrow night in my design group, we're doing a flocked evergreen wreath. My favorite. I am so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Okay, and then we can take this one and we can put it right up. You could also put it in the middle of the bow, even though we have that little piece there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to kind of come down here and kind of glue it like that. Okay, now let's put these in. Okay, I really kind of want to go, yeah. Alright, I'm going to kind of glue it in kind of as part of the bow down in here. There we go. This bow is taking a lot of the embellishments. But you could definitely do more. But I definitely wanted kind of there. Alright, let's see. Look how cute that is! Oh, I love it. I love that. Oh, that's so cute! Look at that. I want it to be. There we go. Now you could put as many of things like this as you want on it. You could also do things like these. So these are glittered eucalyptus, and you can cut them in various pieces and then kind of put them in your wreath like this. we'll be listing these tomorrow. Like this. Like that. Oh, that's cute. Let's see if we can get a couple more pieces in. I love this stuff. We used this in a couple of our projects at the retreat. I used it, I like it so much we used it a few times. There we go. Let's do one down here. I'll also kind of pull out my ribbons at the bottom, kind of spread them out a little. And I'm gluing this to these ties, because remember, these ties are pretty much like evergreen. Look at that. Well, it might be nice if I had it right side up. There we go. So what we think? There we go. Isn't that cute? Thank you, Z. This is fun. Everything is on there. Isn't that fun? And you could just put as much or as little as you want. You can even take... So I tell my group about this a lot. You may not love ficus leaves, but they're very inexpensive and they're a great filler. So it's easy to put things like this and really fill up a wreath without spending a ton of money. I love the glitter too. You just be happy with the bow. Oh, that's good. Oh, there's Mama. All right. Let me turn this off. Did I turn it off? I think I did. Maybe I'll just turn this off. And then I can make sure it's off. It's hard to tell if that glue pot's off. All right. Thank you. So this is, oh, let me see, I got it right over here so I can tell you. It's 24 inches wide, which pretty much all of mine are, and it is about 6 to 8 inches thick. With the bow, it's probably pushing 8, but just the wreath part, it's about 6. Listen, I could keep going on the embellishments, but I think kind of sometimes less is more, because, you know, if you put so much in there, then you don't see the details. So I like to be able to see the details. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope y'all have an awesome afternoon. I'll be on tomorrow to do that bow. I've got to get with Z and Owl to see what time, maybe like 5 o'clock. So, all right. You're not sure of the candy canes? I like the candy canes. I think they're cute. All right, well, I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see